you're thinking about moving to Raleigh and you're trying to make a decision on which town is the right fit for you and your lifestyle. And there's two towns that keep popping up, Cary and Apex. And you've most likely been hearing that they're both great places to live. And trust me, they are. They're both great. They're both very popular. They both have received numerous accolades over the years. In fact, most recently, a 2025 U.S. News and World Report came out, and it ranked Cary number 5 and Apex number 7 in best places to live in the entire country. So listen, I've lived here for 17 years, and I've seen both of these towns grow into what they are today. Cary has grown into a suburban powerhouse, and Apex has exploded into one of the fastest growing communities in the state. But here's the real secret people don't know. Even though they are right next to each other, in fact, there are some neighborhoods that are both Cary and Apex, living in each town could be a little bit different. People say that Cary is more polished, more of the perfect town, while Apex is the charming, fast-growing neighbor. And while that's pretty true, the reality goes a little bit deeper. Choosing between them isn't just about selecting a house, it's about choosing your lifestyle. So the big question is, do you want an established giant next to Research Triangle Park, or the booming challenger with a small town heart? Everyone will tell you that Cary and Apex are amazing places to live, and they truly are. But what they won't tell you is that the same budget will buy you a little bit different lifestyle. I'm breaking it all down today, from commutes, housings, lifestyle, downtown, parks and recreation, and more. First up, we're going to talk about location, because when people reach out to me, one of the top criteria that they have is proximity to things that they need to get to, such as Research Triangle Park, RTP, the airport, which the acronym is RDU. We like to use a lot of acronyms in Raleigh. That's Raleigh-Durham International. And also to get to downtown Raleigh, Chapel Hill, and Durham. So Cary is in the middle of everything. So it has quick access to all of those things and more. And so, for instance, the average commute from Cary to Research Triangle Park is about 12 to 15 minutes. When you compare that to Apex, Apex is about 20 to 25 minutes. So not a huge difference, but it does add up over time. And that's why people will tend to go to select Cary first until they find out that maybe they can't find what they want in Cary and they start looking into Apex. And then the same holds true with that commute to Raleigh-Durham International. Cary is going to have about a 10-minute faster commute than Apex. So not terrible at all, but the trade-off is, when you're living in Apex, is that you are closer to some other things such as Jordan Lake, which if you're a boater or like to fish, you're a lot closer to that amenity. So it's really a trade-off. Do you want to be in Cary where you're closer to some things such as the airport in downtown Raleigh, or do you want to be closer to the lake and maybe feel a little bit more removed from the hustle and bustle of such a large town as Cary? Next up, housing cost. When we really look at housing, of course, that's a big criteria for people that are choosing a town. But however, when you look at the median home sale price of both Cary and Apex, they're very similar. Cary has a median home price sale as of July 2025 of $762,000, which compare that to Apex, which was $734,000. So as you see, it's not a huge difference. It's like $28,000. But where the difference comes in is the type of home that you get when you look at each town. When looking at Cary around that price point of the mid 700s, you're going to get a more established neighborhood, something with trees, a lot of growth, maybe larger lots. You're also going to find older homes that were built in, say, the 80s and 90s. However, a lot of those neighborhoods do have a long history of appreciation. In fact, there's several neighborhoods in Cary that have significant appreciation. And so your investment is a good investment in Cary. And as you're seeing, because you see a lot of these older homes that are still carrying great resale value, it's because of the location and the reputation of Cary. It's a town that everyone wants to be in. The one thing is that Cary doesn't have a lot of new construction left. And so Cary is mostly built out. But having said that, if you do want a newer home, that's where you're going to look at West Cary. That's where a lot of the new construction has been over the last several years. Out in West Cary, there's a lot more what you would find the master plan communities, neighborhoods with amenities, and all of that. So I know what you're thinking. East Cary, West Cary, oh my gosh, like where do I pick? So that's a whole nother video. And guess what? It's coming soon. So make sure you hit the notification button and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss that video where I break down the differences between the two sections of Cary. Now let's move on to Apex, where the average home tends to be a little bit newer than what you would find in Cary overall. And the reason why is that because Apex has really built out in the last 20 years or so. So a lot of the neighborhoods are newer. You're going to find those master plan communities with the amenities, with pools. But just like Cary, Apex is starting to slow down a little bit with new home construction. It's just because land costs have gotten high, land has already been built out. So what's happening now is they're starting to build in New Hill. And New Hill is a smaller unincorporated community just on the southwest of Apex. And it's historically, it's its own distinct area, but it's really starting to become more and more intertwined with Apex just because of the proximity, and all of the recent development seems to be around New Hill Olive Chapel Road and Old US Highway 1. And so even the town of Apex is including New Hill in its long-term planning process. So what would you choose? A classic Cary home in an older established neighborhood, or a new home out in the suburbs of Apex? Tell me in the comments below. I want to hear what you would pick. So now you're probably asking what it's actually like to live in either Apex or Cary. Fenton is Cary's newest upscale shopping area, and it also has dining in there as well. There's a green lawn that they have events throughout the year. There's also movie theaters, and it's very polished. It's very modern. They have high-end restaurants and shopping, and they keep adding more. They're really trying to elevate that area to make it more of a destination. They also have different events that go on throughout the year in Fenton. Apex doesn't really have anything like that. You're going to find more strip plazas, such as where you're going to find Target and more big box chains. And then, of course, you're going to have the downtown, which is quaint little shops and stores. And then Cary's always been known for its world-class parks and its greenway system. Additionally, it has that big 7-acre park within the downtown, which is the Cary Park. And I've done a video from that park, so if you want to take a look at it, just check this video out right here, which is the top 3 luxury neighborhoods in Cary. And that park is huge. It's got a stage for entertainment. There's a dog park. There's even a bar in there that's right next to the dog park, and it's called the Bark Bar. I think that's kind of cute. And then additionally, Cary also has USA Baseball that has a training facility here. There's Cocoa Booth Amphitheater, which has many things throughout the year. You have the Chinese Lantern Festival during the holidays. You have different festivals such as beer, bourbon, and barbecue. And then, of course, you have many concerts that are there. It's a great venue. Some headliners come. So it's really a plus to Cary to have that entertainment spot. And also, Cary does a lot of festivals, and with the festivals, they're really big festivals. Lazy Days Art Festival, it happens every August, and they do some other things throughout the year. Cary has an immense list of events going on. You can check those out on the town website, the Town of Cary. Apex also does festivals throughout the year. You're just going to feel like it has a little bit of a different vibe because it's all about community and charm. The whole town shows up for Peak Fest, which is along Salem Street. They also have an old-fashioned 4th of July parade, one of the few in the area. And everything has to do around that downtown Apex area, around the historic downtown. That's where most of the festivals are. So it's very concentrated, but it really does make you appreciate the small town feel, the community sense that's around that town. And I've said it in previous videos, it feels like a Hallmark movie sometimes just walking through there, especially around the holidays when everything is decorated. And speaking of downtowns, Cary has gone through its own sleek and modern regentrification of their downtown. The Cary Arts Center that used to be the Cary High School back in the 1930s, and of course the big Cary Park that's been the showstopper that is anchored right in the middle of downtown. We're starting to see new construction all around with some townhouses, apartments, even some homes that are getting knocked down, and new homes are being built around that downtown area. And there are also restaurants and breweries down in downtown Cary. It's just a little bit more spread out. It's not a concentrated downtown like Apex has. So you really can't compare the two downtowns. Apex is small and quaint, and Cary is becoming more of a modern place and a lot more happening down there. So if you were to compare the two, Cary is more of an urban suburb type energy. Apex is more nostalgic, but it's still very quaint and lovely. So two different vibes, but both great downtowns. And of course, when anyone's looking to move to the area, schools are always part of a bigger conversation. Both Apex and Cary are part of Wake County Public Schools, both very highly ranked great schools. Apex has amazing options with Apex High School and Friendship. And then Cary also has amazing options, maybe a little bit more known. Green Hope High School is always ranked in some of the top in the state, but Cary has more schools overall just because it's a bigger town, more population. Either way, you're in great hands with schools. Either town, you're going to have excellent schools to choose from. And then when it comes to universities, you have the powerhouse universities right outside of our area, those being Duke University, UNC Chapel Hill, and NC State. So which one do you prefer, Cary or Apex? Drop a comment below. I'd love to find out. Choose Cary if you want more convenience, a centralized location, festival after festival, and a blue chip real estate investment. Choose Apex if you want a slightly newer home, a strong sense of community, and a small town wrapped into big growth potential with new construction opportunities. But as I said, either choice is a great option for anyone that's looking to relocate to the Raleigh area. And here's the benefit. They're both so close to one another that you can live in one town and still enjoy the amenities and all the events of the other town. And all I can say, after living here for 17 years, I can tell you, you really can't lose. So here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Cary or Team Apex? And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos coming out on the best neighborhoods, schools, and communities all around the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. I truly do appreciate it. And if you're ready to make a move, my team and I are here to help you on every step of the way. All my contact information is in the description below. We'll set up a time to talk, walk through your goals, and find the perfect home here in Raleigh. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.